Good morning, everyone. I hope you are having a wonderful Tuesday. I feel like my voice is kind of like, you're the first people to hear my voice this morning. So I'm coming on a little bit early because I actually have to take off here fairly soon for a very important appointment. And today I wanted to talk about, before I take off, I wanted to talk about knowing your room. Because over the weekend, I was at an amazing Women of Power conference, and it was a very different room than I'm normally in when it comes to speaking. And I want to talk about that. And no, I was not on stage, but I learned a lot by going to this conference and knowing what it takes to get on the stages there. And so we're going to talk about that because quite a few people that I ran into over the weekend really wanted to be on that stage. And some of the things you have to realize is that you got to know, you kind of need to know the game you're playing if you want to go play the game. All right. So I know I'm on a little bit early this morning, only because I have to leave. So I'm going to go ahead and share this out to a couple of folks. Then I'm going to introduce myself. And yes, I did go get my hair straightened. Trust me, it's only going to last. If you weren't in my house last night, this ain't going to happen anymore. That's all I have to say. Okay, so we got things breaking. All right, cool. Now we're fine. All right, for those of you who are tuning in, I am Phylecia Jones, budgetologist and solopreneur money management expert, and you are watching Ask the Budgetologist. Now, I come to you live every morning, and I answer any questions you have around business budgeting and solo entrepreneurship. And today, we're going to talk about landing speaking gigs and, as a way of feeding your budget by getting on stage and marketing yourself. That's what we're going to do this morning because it has worked for me and hopefully it can work for you. So I want to give you the behind the scenes and see if it can actually work for you. Good morning, Heather. First, I got to tell you, yes, so this is a very no makeup day only because today is recording day. So I'm actually going into the studio for Daily Blast Live. So for those of you who don't know, I'm actually the financial contributor for a national television show. Yeah, I found out it was national last week. Daily Blast Live. And actually, for my dear friends, Heather, my friends in Tennessee, I'm actually national. So Heather, it does come on in your town in Minneapolis. I have no idea what channel it comes on, but it's on the NBC affiliate. So I would love for you to go check it out. But today is recording day. So they want me to come in with no makeup on and all kinds of things. And I got my hair straightened yesterday. I only needed a haircut. I only get my hair straightened so I can get a trim. I don't do it for any other reasons. Hey, Beatrice, how you doing? So, and I don't have utensils to keep hair straight. Yeah, I don't have combs or brushes or flat irons or anything. I bought a hair dryer 2 weeks ago after like 30 something years. Yeah, that's what I'm working with. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. Also, if you want to get my guide, my checklist on the 3 skills every speaker must master in order to land more gigs, go to keepupmrsjones.com. I'll put it in the comment box before we take off. But okay, let's talk about over the weekend. So I was at the Women of Power Summit, and it was a very different room than what I'm normally in when it comes to speaking. And one of the biggest things that I tell people when they go out and speak is you need to know your room. You need to know your room that you want to get into. You need to know the room that you want to play in. You need to know the game that you're playing. You need to know all these things because there's a strategy to get on that stage, okay? There is a strategy. And what happens a lot is a lot of people feel, well, I can dress the way I want. I can look the way I want. And yes, you can. This is a free world. It is a free world. You can look however you want, do whatever you want to do. You can be the best you, be authentic as you possibly can, but also realize that there are some consequences depending on what room you're in. There are some straight up consequences, and it's not not a negative thing. It's just an is thing. Now, this event that I went to was mainly, and it's not mainly, I would say 90% corporate. And when I say corporate, I'm not talking about people who are secretaries, and not doing shame to any secretaries or anything like that. But I'm not talking about people in customer service positions and things like that. The majority of the people in this room were either some version of a C-suite person some version of a vice president, some type of CEO of some major Fortune 500, Fortune 100 type company. And you really can't go into these rooms with your jeans on, with your sporty sneakers, and think that you can go rock and do your thing. You can, but you won't be surprised. And I'm going to give you a prime example. I'm going to give you a prime example of what happened. So I was there with my mentor who was speaking, and something happened during the day. I'm not sure what. Not my event. Thank goodness I couldn't put on anything that big. But they were waiting for the person to come and do the introduction. And you intro the speaker. They have the bio. You read it. Blah, 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 blah. I just so happened to be sitting in the back. And she turned to me like, hey, I need you to go and do, hey, Heather, I'll see you later. And she said, hey, I need you to do the intro for me. Now, it just so happened. Now, if y'all know me, I'm about a normal girl. I wear my jeans, and I didn't wear my jeans this weekend because I knew I was in a very different room. And oh my gosh, I hate putting on pants. But I just happened to be wearing a dress this day, had the high heels, look pretty nice. So they called, like, hey, just be on backup just in case if we need you to come and do the introduction on stage. And I actually did it. But there was a young lady who came in to do the introduction. And I remember there were quite a few people in the back row. They were like, that girl with the tennis shoes on? She's going to go up on stage? I mean, that was the thing. They were like, she has on tennis shoes and she has on jeans. And I mean, people it was quiet, but people were having like a fit. And me, I didn't think anything of it. I mean, she looked really cute. I love the outfit, but some people, they were having a problem with the fact that she was not dressed. And I don't know what happened, but I think the person who was going on stage had a problem with how she was looking. Now, and I'm telling you this because when you decide to play in a different pot, you want to play on a different stage, you need to know that room very well. And you might be in your heart of hearts, I'm going to be myself. But you have to also understand that if you are in a room of people who have expectations of how you're supposed to look and how you're supposed to dress, you need to understand the uniform. And that's how you need to show up. Now, by the time you make your $1 billion company, you do your thing. And if you are normally on stage in jeans and a t-shirt and they already know that, that's fine. You can do your thing. But when you are new to a brand new world, you need to understand the uniform and you need to understand what the expectations are of how you're supposed to look. And is it unfair? Yeah. Does it suck? Yeah. Should it be that way? No, but it is. And so you got to remember these types of things. And the reason why I'm telling you this to know your room is not necessarily know the room because of the audience. You have to know the room because of the person who's booking you. That's what I mean by knowing the room. You really do have to know what the people are expecting of you. And I remember I've told some people who I've talked about speaking, and they were like, I was like, you know what? You got to understand the uniform of the rooms you're in. And, they instantly get defensive, like, I didn't look nice. And it's like, I'm not saying you didn't look nice. You actually, I've told people you actually look nice for when you're at home and when you're working. But for some rooms, you need to bring your A game. And sometimes you need to bring your A game when you're speaking. Now, it can be overcome with dazzling on stage. But remember, we have an attention span that's like this small, and we have a judgment span that's very small. So you only have a small chance to make an impression when you're in a room, especially if you want to get on stage. And one of the things that I noticed, even when I walked around, just hearing some of the comments, and people were like, well, why is she wearing that? And oh my gosh, that's so unprofessional. Like, oh my gosh, it's so unprofessional. She has on jeans. And I actually posted this on my personal timeline of why are jeans considered unprofessional? And it's very interesting. A lot of people have have a wide varying views of why jeans are unprofessional. But one of the things that I did notice with being in that room was that you were being judged on a regular basis. And people do judge you based on how you look. And it depends. And that sometimes determines the conversation that is had. So here are a couple of things that I want you to do if you want to get on more stages and you want to get on it faster. So one, when you are out scouting for events, especially when you're scouting in person, pay attention to the uniform of the crowd. Pay attention to the uniform of the person that's booking you. You need to understand and get the energy of the expectations, okay? So that you can be a part of the group, okay? So you need to really have a keen eye on it. And I know you're saying, I want to be myself and authentic. That's not authentic. Book the gig first, then figure out what you want to do. But you'd be surprised that a lot of people won't even listen to you if you don't show up on stage dressed properly, whatever properly is. So one, evaluate the uniform of the group. And this goes all ways. Don't show up in a 3-piece suit to people that have on shorts and flip-flops. Now, shorts and flip-flops may not be your thing, so you need to find your version of casual. Still keep it professional, but find your version of casual so you don't stand out too much, okay? Don't go on stage in a ball gown when people got on shorts. Just know your audience, especially as a speaker. Unless you're an entertainer, whole different ball game, okay? So really pay attention to the uniform, the dress code, and the expectations of how you're supposed to look when you want to get on that stage. The next thing is pay attention to what's important for those people. Now, the room I was in, it was very important that you had education, you had credentials, and you were part of a major company. Whatever major company it is, you just need to be a part of it. So that was very important. And so you'll have to kind of change your lexicon. For those of you who don't know what lexicon is, your language, your words, depending on your room. And that's going to be so important because that's going to be the thing that will help you sell yourself a little bit more because they are expecting something. They are expecting something in that room, and you're going to have to be able to talk to them. And this is all rooms. It goes all multiple ways, okay? If you're trying to play in corporate, you need to know the lexicon, the language, the look, the expectations of being in corporate rooms. If you're playing around with podcasters, you need to know the look, the expectations, and the language of what they're looking for in that room. So make sure you understand the lexicon. And the third thing is, what I want you to do after doing all of that, decide if this room is where you even want to be in. I don't know, there's probably a better way to say that, but decide if that's even your room. You'd be surprised because I meet a lot of people who say, I just want to be on stage. I want to be on stage. And I was like, well, who's the audience? Women. There's a lot of women in this world, y'all. There's a lot of women. So we got to decide what kind of women we want to go after. And we need to be in the rooms where they are. And we need to just morph. We need to conform a little bit in order to get booked on those stages. And sometimes when you go and play in a room, and when I say play, I mean when you go to a conference and you get an energy vibe from the room, you'll be surprised. You may say, that's not even my thing. Like, I thought I wanted to be here, but no. And you may go to another conference that says, oh my gosh, these are my people. I love this. So that's what you have to do. You need to, one, look at the uniform of the audience, the crowd, especially the person that's going to book you. Second, understand the lexicon. What language do you need to conform to so that people can, connect with you? And three, you need to make a decision if where you want to be is where you want to be. And I've gone to some places that were so unexpected with conferences and said, you know what? I like these people. I like this energy. This is where I want to be. I've gone to some that I thought were going to be my path. And like, nope, this is not for me. So you have to make that decision. But the biggest thing is you need to know your room. Okay? Know your room. Know who you're going to be around. Know who you need to impress. Know the language, the lexicon, the expectations, the look, the uniform. You need to know all of that. Okay? Now, if you got any questions, go ahead and pop them in the comment box. I know this is a short one today. I actually have to run off. Then I have to come back home. Then I have to go do the recording today for the TV show. So hopefully you all can catch it. I try not to be that bad on television. All right. So I got to take off. I hope you have an amazing day. If you have any questions around anything, feel free to reach out and ask me. Seriously, I'm here to answer any questions you have. If you just so happen to be in Orlando, I'm leaving tomorrow. I will be at PodFest. I will be speaking. It's not corporate. I don't have to wear pants. I know. But I'll be in Orlando at PodFest. So go check it out. I would love for you to come and hang out with me. Maybe you let me know you're there. Drinks on me. Why not? I don't care what kind of drink it is. It can have to be tea. So have an amazing day. Take care. Happy stage hunting. Happy budgeting. If you need me, you know where to find me. Bye.